If you haven't hit TL60 yet already, then I could possibly save you, because there are a multitude of factors in this game that can cause you to lose a lot of progression when it comes to the amount of resources that you have, having the amount ready for when you hit TL60 or TL50. So if you aren't at these TLs at the current moment, then I could possibly give you the tips that you need to make sure that you succeed in the future and make sure that your progression isn't locked on when you get to that part of the game. So we're going to be talking about all these factors today, what you should be doing, what you should have before you hit to this part, and what you should not be doing, because there are a multitude of factors that you want to make sure that you're not doing and you are doing at the same time, because there is just so much that this game throws at you at the same time, and you kind of don't expect these things to make a big factor when you are getting to these TLs. So today, let's go ahead and start talking about many of the things that you need to know. So the first thing I want to bring up is your energy usage, because I know a lot of people want to know 100% what this needs to be used for, because this is a limited resource. We need to be able to grab materials, be able to grab all the things that we possibly need. Now, I want to go ahead and say the first thing that you shouldn't do, which is to go ahead and grind out relics. Now, around the TL40 area, a lot of people start saying that this is where you can start grinding out relics, because you are guaranteed one 5-star relic. If you didn't already know, TL50 drops one and a slight chance of getting another, and also TL60 guarantees you two. So as you know, TL60 will be the best and efficient way to actually grind these out, while TL50 is a if and so when it comes to using your energy. I do want to say around the TL40 to 50 area, unless there's a big difficulty increase that you literally can't get without using relics, then you might want to try to stay away from this, because there's a lot of situations where you can get really bad main stats, really bad sub stats, and having these and, you know, deleting all these relics or making not use of any of these relics because they don't have anything that you may need, this is going to be wasting your energy when you can be using them on resources that you will definitely need and need a big pool of when it comes to leveling up your characters, which is the most important part and where a lot of the power of your characters are going to come out anyway. So you might want to stay away from relics. So in a second, we will be talking about which relics you should be grinding out when it comes to the efficiency of energy, because certain relic domains are better than others, and I want to talk about these in a quick second, but that will be towards the end of the video, because that's when you will be around TL60. When you are around the area where you want to start spending your energy on meaningful resources, then this is when you're going to want to spend on stagnant shadow material. Now, stagnant shadow material, as you may know, are ascension material for a lot of these characters, and of course with 4 stars is a little bit less, but for 5 stars is a little bit more. If you didn't know, they do vary depending on their rarity. But stagnant shadow material is definitely something that you are going to need a lot of when you hit TL60 to TL50, because this is when it starts getting to the 25-35 range of how many material that you possibly need to be able to ascend them to the last 2 ascensions. So you want to just go ahead and look up all the characters that you're going to be leveling up. I prefer you start with only 8 of them or 4 of them to start a full team that's leveled up, so that you're able to, you know, grind the overall, do the content that you need to do without worrying, and then, you know, spread out between then. You don't want to kind of do more than 8 characters at the current moment, because 8 characters is what you need for the memory of chaos. But other than that, those 8 characters should be what you prioritize in getting their traces leveled up, their light cone leveled up, and also their ascension as well. Because spreading yourself too far and leveling up every character that you possibly have that you may not use is going to be a resource draw, and this is where I went wrong. I ended up leveling up every character to level 50 when I started out, and that was a lot of resources I needed now to be able to level up these characters to level 80, level 70. So you don't want to do this. You don't want to waste your energy on characters you're not going to use, because this is not going to help you memory chaos at the current moment. You kind of want to just have the strongest teams you have at the current moment be leveled up and leave everyone else to the side for now. Another thing that's just like the stagnant shadow materials is going to be the traces as well. The traces are a big drought. Even at TL60, the resource drop for this per run isn't as crazy and isn't as amazing as you would want it to be. So leveling it up a little bit earlier in your TL40 to TL50 range isn't going to be much of a difference from TL60. We do get a little bit more when it comes to the energy spent, but since it's such a minuscule increase in resources, leveling these up or getting these really quickly at the early phases of the game where you're not needing to spend on relics, this is going to be a lot more efficient than spending it on relics or spending it on anything else, because at the current moment, static shadow materials and these trace materials don't go that crazy high up in increase at TL60. So being able to grind these up early, use your energy on that to level up your TL, is going to help out a lot more than getting these relics, because the trace materials and stagnant shadow materials go by super quick when you're trying to level up certain characters. So you might want to stay away from leveling up relics, getting relics, and start going on those stagnant shadow materials and those trace materials. Now, another trap that you might see is going to be a little bit weird, but I do think the XP book, the light cone XP books, and also the credit calyxes are going to be a little bit of a scam. In 1.1, we're going to get a lot of events that are going to be dropping these for free, and especially with so many events and the 2x Calyx drops that we're going to get as an event later on in the future as well, you might want to stay away from this because I do think these are plentiful when it comes to leveling up specific characters. Now, leveling up your whole roster, now that's just a problem in itself. So these materials are going to come by, you know, from Forgotten Hall, the shop, events, enemies, all that type of stuff. So try to stay away from this. You don't want to spread yourself too far out when it comes to leveling up characters with these materials, because that's when you'll see yourself in a resource drought that I find myself in, and I don't want you in that area. Now, when it comes to practices that are going to help you keep your materials up and your XP and your credits up for free, this is what you're going to want to do. Simulated Universe actually gives some drops for relic XP, which you're going to need a lot of because it takes so much to level up a relic to plus 15, which is the gold max. And you know, when you do these Simulated Universe runs, as you may see, for extra drops, they're going to drop these green dust, and these green dust are going to help with relic XP. You are limited to 100 elite boss kills to get these extra drops, so 5 runs a day is going to help you get the max amount of relic XP when it comes to going through 100 bosses a week, because there's 3 of them in each domain. Doing 5 of them is going to help you get a certain amount done daily, and by the time you hit your 7th day or the end of the week, you will end up at the max amount of relic XP drop. So this is a really good resource in order to get this if you have the time. Now, another good resource that is going to help a lot with XP, which I'm currently doing, and it's helping me a lot with my materials and free XP for all my team members, because it does help level up your whole team without using books, is going to be clearing out the map. Now, that is a big time commitment, and it is a lot because you do have to have all the maps unlocked, and you also have to have the time to be able to go through, walk, and get every enemy. Now, I do have a site in the description that's going to show you all the maps and the arrows you need to follow to be able to knock out all the enemies that are on those maps. It shows you where to spawn, where to follow, and what enemies to be, and is going to help you get some XP throughout the day. If you do this throughout weeks, days, you are going to see increases in your levels for your characters very quickly without wasting any resources, and also drops the ascension and trace materials that you need that go along with the ones that you need the energy for. So you kind of want to make sure that you're grinding these out if you want to try to be as efficient as you possibly can with all the free-to-play drops as you can possibly get. Now, when it comes to the relic drops and what domains are the most energy efficient, there are 2 that I can possibly say that are good across the board, because they're going to help your support characters, and they're going to be helping a set of DPS characters with more support characters. As you may know, support characters are the name of the game when it comes to all Hoyoverse games, so I'm going to be listing a couple of them that are going to be absolutely amazing. And as I said before, there are some that you want to stay away from. The ones that you want to stay away from are going to be the quantum set and the physical set, and this is because both of those sets are going to be characters that are going to have weird sets alongside with them. The physical set is going to have a break effect type relic set, which at the current moment, this seems very niche and not something that a lot of people need or want. So you don't want this set, and having it with the physical set is just going to lower your chances of getting something good. Same with the quantum set. It has this defense oriented set that reduces damage that you take and also gives you back HP and energy when you were below a certain amount of HP. And for there to be an actual defense set with the lightning set, this isn't the overall best thing in the world to grind for. So you might want to stay away from those 2 as much as you possibly can. Now, when it comes to energy efficient domains, then is where we're going to talk about the healer set and the lightning set. With the healer set, you're actually going to get a healer set, of course, as I said before. You're going to get outgoing healing and an extra skill point. And then you're also going to get the musketeer set, which helps a lot of supports because it gives attack and speed to that support. So these are really good relic sets to have. And also for your lightning set, you're going to get lightning DPS, of course, relics that you need for maybe Serval, Jing Yuan if you have them. And you're also going to be getting a defense set, which is going to help out March 7th, Japard, Fire MC. So this is overall an amazing sets to run. All the other sets have other DPS relic sets with them. So something like the fire set is going to have the imaginary set with it. So overall, you might end up getting something that you may need for somebody in the future. Same with the wind set and the ice set. They share one as well. So you could be working on 2 DPS at the same time, or throw that onto a support that you want them to do damage with. So there are some better relic domains, as I said before, and some that you want to stay away from. But those are the practices and things you might want to grind out when it comes to you being at TO 40 and below, and not being around the TO 50 to 60 range, because a lot of people are complaining that there aren't enough resources, that there isn't enough to have when it comes to leveling up your characters. I can't be at this and that, because they spread themselves so far. They did too many things that they did not or shouldn't have done to be able to make sure that they were able to level up the characters that they needed. So don't be in that spot. Follow what I said, do what I said if you have the time with grinding out Simulated Universe and also the clearing of the map, because those help so much. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. See you on the next one, and peace.